Tristan with Nerdut's Newsstand, and DC Comics has been doing their Dark Knight's death metal soundtrack. Now, I know this event is since over. It is a great event. I highly suggest reading it, but they are slowly putting out the soundtrack. It's available for pre-order, and there are quite a few songs already available when it comes to streaming. There are some that haven't been released yet, but as of right now, the songs that I have listened to have been less than impressive. Now, maybe they're just not my type of music, but the one that was more recently released was by Maria Brink from In This Moment and Andy Biersack, who played Batman in the animations that they did over on their website from Black Veil Brides, and I love both of those bands. They're absolutely fantastic. Two of my probably top 10 bands ever. And I still didn't like it. So I got to thinking, I should go through and pick and fan theorize how I would have done this soundtrack by songs that are already released, because the songs coming out now are new songs, right? One is Mastodon, forged by Neuron. They also have Chelsea Wolfe in there, who voiced Diana. And you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my picks. And I think this video, to me, it took me quite a while to do. I've been working on this for about a week now, but it was really fun to go through all of these songs that I absolutely love and kind of go through their meaning, and some of them were very surprising. I had to change a few. So there is 15 on the original soundtrack. I believe 6 have been released. I picked 15 of my own songs, and I'm going to give you the exact reason why. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit subscribe. As always, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your number one pick would have been for this type of soundtrack. I would love to hear your different ideas, because I'm definitely going to give you all 15 of mine. Now, we're going to open up, and I'm going to tell you what each moment is, or what each song's for. So, opening up doesn't kill me, it makes me stronger, is just our beginning of this event, right? So I picked a kind of winner, right? Not Gonna Die by Skillet. It is a song of hope in the face of a lost and fractured generation. And to me, this song is about not letting the world overcome you with fear or hatred or whatever you struggle over. Whatever harms you, you have to let it go. And you have to give it to a higher power, or just let go. I feel like it also means that anyone, even the younger generations, can do anything if they really try. Even if the entire world is against it, but they don't give up. And they relentlessly keep going. And that's why I absolutely think this song is a good opener. Now, for the next one, we're going to go a little old school. And this is, again, just another welcome song. Welcome to My Nightmare. If you have been here on the channel for a while, you know I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. I've met him a few times. I've maybe followed him around a few states. You know, I love Alice Cooper. He's great. But the idea in this song was the central theme to Alice Cooper's tour, Welcome to My Nightmare. And it was the basic concept that the song related a tale of a nightmare that Alice suffered as a young child. He loved horror movies, he still does, and loves theater and musical. He put it all together. And it's a perfect welcoming tale to a nightmare from the bat who laughs and the Perpetua who rules. So now we're going to start with a couple simple characters. First character that I loved in this series was Sergeant Rock. And I picked Wrong Side of Heaven, Righteous Side of Hell by Five Finger Death Punch. It's not necessary. Was Batman, of course, played a huge role in Dark Knight's death metal. And I picked his character, or his voice actor, Andy Black. I picked one of his songs. Now, I picked They Don't Need to Understand by Andy Black himself, not Black Veil Brides, who I do have later on. But I believe this song means a lot of things. We're always running away, and we don't even stop to think about it. The only thing I got from this was simply, they don't need to understand. You should be able to do whatever you want for any reason, no matter if other people are questioning it. This strongly relates to Batman, right? His trauma and what he is now. They don't need to understand why you are you. Just be yourself, even if people question you, because the people who truly love you, who need to understand you, will love you. So always be yourself, even if they don't understand you. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I said that a few times because they don't need to understand. Get the point? All right. So next we're going to go to Diana, who in the animation was voice acted by Chelsea Wolfe. So I did pick a song that was done by Chelsea Wolfe in the past. I picked Survive, and I had to pick something by her. I'm not the biggest fan. Her music just simply isn't my style, but it's a song about survival, and it's a song about surviving in the face of adversity, but thriving, and I thought that was perfect for Wonder Woman, right? So next we have Superman, and we are going to go a little cliche here, and I picked Simon Curtis, Superhero.
Rip it off, show the symbol on your chest, say come on and show the world who you really are.
The epitome of hope and optimism, needs the most uplifting song on the album, and Simon Curtis gives us that with Superhero, especially saying, you have the power inside you. And yes, Superman may be an extremely powerful alien, but his heart is what sets him apart. So we're going to go a little more evil, right? We're going to go to the Bat Who Laughs, the darkest night of them all. And we have to pick Avenged Sevenfold. Hail to the King. Oh, I freaking love this song. And this song is strongly misinterpreted. And it is exactly why I put it here ironically, because the Bat Who Laughs, or the Darkest Nights, want to be hailed as a king. But this song is not about a tyrant king, because even after the rebellion of the people and that interpretation happens, they still hail the king. I think the song is about the second coming of the Messiah. There are so many other correlations that can be made with him being referred to as the king, the one standing in the sun or standing in the light. The band has references to God in all their songs, and definitely in this one, and it's no different. So ironically, the Darkest Night thinks he is the king, but only to eventually fail. Now we have to also look at his sidekick more in the beginning, but even so, Perpetua. I love that character. I think her design is very, very cool, but we had to bring in some Black Veil Brides. I love them. Have I ever mentioned that before? Some of the best music out there. Not only that, but once they tone it back a little bit, they're just so pretty. Anyway, so Heart of Fire.
This heart of fire is burning brown.
Andy Black, who voiced Batman, I said that previously, once told the Pulse of Radio, the song Heart of Fire is about how time and circumstances change you, and how the goal is always to not let the passion that you have for something that you love burn out, because the world around you changes it. And we can see Perpetua go through change after change during Dark Knight's death metal, but her heart is still on fire, right? So now we're up to Superboy Prime. Oh, I love Superboy Prime. Now, I picked Popular Monster, Falling in Reverse for this, and the lead singer, Rodney Ratke, talked about going through some type of mental issue, right? He describes it as being very similar to depression. However, the people around him, everybody, or his doctor or his family, were just telling him he's going through a phase. But really, what he's going through is more of an existential crisis. But Truly, he was on the verge of falling down and breaking apart. He has been pushed too far, but either way, the true purpose of this song is supposed to be about external pressures and how they are negatively affecting them. These factors do indeed transform him into a popular monster. And by popular monster, we can say he has become an unfavorable individual who has made so due to people perceiving him as such in the first place. And I literally cannot think of a better way to describe a character like Superboy Prime. So, what about Robin King? I love Robin King. I did a couple videos on him. He's a great brand new addition. We have to go super, super dark. That's why we're going to go to Grandson, Dark Side. This song is extremely dark and is originally about the ways that school shooters have, will, or can be created by the society around it. It's speaking of a kid that is bullied, ignored, abused, and he uses his dark side as a persona to represent his anger and hatred towards that society that forced him to become the way he currently is. But this can be true of the Bruce Wayne version of Robin King also, starting with the slaying of his own parents and leading on further than that, but we'll leave it there. Now, I have brought a couple characters together. They were together a lot in this event, so I definitely want to keep them as a little bit of a group, and that's Harley, Jarro, Swamp Thing, and Jimmy Hex. I almost was at the point where I was kind of shipping Harley and Jimmy, but even so. So, I can't think of a better song for this group of chaotic characters than Five Finger Death Punch, Jekyll and Hyde.
With a smile on my face, but there's a demon inside.
This one's simple. The song title comes from the name that used two persons displaying completely different characteristics. One is respectable, and the other not so much. And that completely, very simply, describes each one of these characters. Now, towards the end of Dark Knight's death metal, we got a good look at Lobo. He even had his own solo book, right? We have to include Lobo. So I included an oldie, but still a goodie, 3 Days Grace, The Animal I Have Become. Lobo has definitely long been a fan favorite villain within DC Comics, and the song is about an individual who has long tried to hide his true emotions, his anger, his desire for revenge against all those who have done him wrong. Finally, he snaps. He becomes that side of himself he never let others see. He is caught up in a mix with his rage and concern. He doesn't know who the real him is. All of those years, or the animal he has now become. Lobo became that animal in order to help save mankind. So another group we absolutely have to kind of keep together, and it was a great one-shot, which was Speed Force. We're going to talk about the Speedsters. Now, I included for this in this moment. There were so many songs that I could have put here that would not be okay and probably get me demonetized. So we went with Beautiful Tragedy. The song was it's a little hard to figure out at first. But personally, I think this is about a tragedy that impacts your life so hard that you see it as a beautiful thing, when others may see it as terrible. The best example I can think of is this being promised forever by someone and security and a life together, only to lose that person or break up or divorce and have a child in return. It's a beautiful tragedy, right? It's a tragedy, but you've got something beautiful. And the Speedsters have had their fair share of beautiful tragedies, and it's very fitting, in my opinion. Now, we're going to start to wind down. I've described the beginning of the story and most of the characters, so we're going to talk about the calm before the storm. Now, for this, I chose This Time Imperfect by AFI. This is the calm before the storm. To me, this song is about the inability to express oneself. Sometimes when we feel pain internally, we struggle to convey that to others. Sometimes you're staring at the source of your pain in the face or even in the mirror, yet you cannot get yourself to put into words the anger that you want to feel or want to direct at it. The heroes in Dark Knight's death metal are staring at their pain in the face that last night, only for it to be time to destroy it. And that leads to my last song, and it's so cheesy, and if you make fun of me in the comment section, I will pinch you. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. I wanted to put this song in for a different reason. Besides it being super upbeat and kind of fun, right? Living on a Prayer is basically about an expression that points to the idea of living by faith. Simply put, the person who is actually practicing such as this lifestyle, such as having to rely on nothing but their own prayers. And such is the case as the characters in the song, specifically in the song. But all things considered, the lyrics feature a distinct narrative that are set in a particularly trying point in America's economic history. But, in my opinion, it can be best described as a love song. Because at the end of the day, it features a couple who refuses to give up on their relationship, even though maybe perhaps have every economic reason to do so. This is the characters within the DC universe. They could and probably should give up on each other, but never do, and likely never will. I love the cheese. I love the song. So let me know your guys' favorite pick below, or your own personal pick. I love doing videos like this. I know it's a little longer, but it's fun and it's silly and it's something to look forward to. And honestly, any way I can incorporate music in this channel, I love it. Live by it. So let me know, of course, what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.